तो हेलो फ्रेंड्स, स्वागत है आपका अपने यूट्यूब चैनल कैंपस पावर में। Friend, we can give you 100% surety that if you cover all the questions which we are going to show you on our channel, you will definitely going to clear your exam. Yes friends, we will provide you approx 400 questions which which the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam will come. If you have the concepts clear, then definitely this question will help you a lot. And one more thing, we will cover this in two part. Yes friend, my dear friends, it's a first part of our video. So in this video we are going to cover 132 important, most important questions. And I request you, if you are new to our channel, please subscribe our channel and press the bell notification. It will motivate us to make more second part for all of you. So friend, let's begin our with questions. The first question, which is we get to know and we get in our terms, is how can you distribute data in Amazon RDS across multiple availability zones? Yes, friend, the correct answer is you can create read replica in a different availability zone compared to master database. Create a multiple agent deployment with a standby database. My dear friends, when I was practicing for my AWS Cloud Practitioner, the most difficult part is to remember the questions which have multiple answers. Yes, my friend. But what I will say, if you watch all the till the end and wrote all the answers of these questions, definitely you are going to clear the exam. Or if you want these questions, this Word file, then you can DM me. I will provide you the link of my blog. Okay friend, we will move towards the next question. Which of these can we use to create a file share to share files between multiple EC2 instances? So friend, its right answer is Amazon Elastic File System. Remember one thing, most of the time when it's talk about the file sharing, the answer will be Elastic File System. Which of the following AWS service can be used to connect a company's on-premise environment to a BPC without using the public internet? So it's AWS Direct Connect, which is going to use to on a company on-premise environment to a BPC without using the public internet. So it will be your answer. The fourth question is a project manager working on it's a scenario based question. You will find many scenario based question in the real time exam also. So here is the first question and fourth question according to us. A project manager working on AWS for the first time is confused how credits are used in AWS. There are two credits available in the manager's account. Credit 1 is for $100, expires in July 2022, and can be used for either Amazon S3 or Amazon EC2. The credit 2 is $50, expires in December 2022, and can be used only for the Amazon EC2. The manager AWS account has incurred to charge $1,000 for EC2 instance and $500 for Amazon S3. What will be the outcome on overall bill once the credit are used? So here are the options which we are going to see. And one more thing friend, the options will be same in your exam also. So here the correct answer are there are credit 1 is applied which expires in the July to the amount Amazon EC2 charge, which leaves you with $900 Amazon EC2 charge and $500 Amazon ST charge. Then credit 2 is applied to the remaining $900. So friend, you can learn this and you will get the concept clear also. So our fifth question, which of the following are the storage service offered by an AWS cloud? So S3 and EFS are the two storage service in out of these options which will be provided by the AWS cloud. Okay. Another scenario is a big data analytics company is moving its ID infrastructure from an on-premise data center to an AWS cloud. The company has server bound software license that is want to use on AWS. As a cloud practitioner, which of the following EC2 instance type would you recommend for to the company? So the answer is dedicated host. Yes, my friend, dedicated host is going to use. Which of the following AWS service has encryption enabled by default? Cloud Trail Lock. Yes, my friend, its answer is Cloud Trail Lock. If we move toward next question, which tool service will help you to access AWS service using programming specific APIs? Is AWS Software Developer Kit. And we move to next question. Which security service of AWS in ML for all AWS customers by default at no additional cost? It's AWS Shield Standard. Which of the which of AWS service can be used to facilitate organizational changes management part of the reliability pillars of AWS well architects frameworks. Here we have to select the three answers because it's already mentioned in the question. So answers are AWS config, AWS Cloud Trail, AWS Cloud Watch. 11th, AWS Web Application Firewall WAF offer protection from common web exploited at which layer? It's layer 7. Which of the following is AWS support plan provide the online training with self-placed lab? It's enterprise. Which of the following AWS service should be used to automate distribute incoming traffic across multiple targets? AWS Elastic Load Balance. Which of the following is a benefit of using AWS managed service such as Amazon RDS? It's to perform of AWS managed RDS instance is better than a customer managed database instance. Which of the following are the correct statement regarding the AWS global infrastructure? Select 2. Each AWS region consists of a minimum 3 ability zone. Each ability zone consists of one or more discrete data centers. A company wants to identify the optimal AWS resource configuration for its workload so that the company can reduce cost and increase work performance. Which of the following service can be used to meet the requirements? AWS compute optimization. If we move toward the next question, which of the following statements are correct regarding the ability zones? You can see the answer. EVS volume can be attached to a single instance in the same ability zone, whereas the EFS file can be mounted in the instance across the multiple abilities zone. The DevOps team, it's a scenario based question. The DevOps team at an e-commerce company is trying to debug the performance issue for its serverless application built using a microservices architecture. As a cloud practitioner, which AWS service would you recommend addressing this use case? Its answer is AWS X-Ray. A common a company run an application on a fleet of the EC2 instance. A company want to automate the traditional maintenance job of running timely assessment and checking for OS vulnerabilities. As a cloud practitioner, which service will you suggest for this use case? It's an inspector, AWS inspector. Which of the following is an incorrect option statement about scaling a design principle of reliability pillar of the AWS well architecture? Fault tolerance is achieved by vertical scaling. This is the right answer or the incorrect statement regarding this. So you can check another options also, but you can Google it if you need the answer. And these all answers are correct. These all answers are authorized, so you can trust us. And if you didn't subscribe our channel till now, I request you please subscribe our channel first then we will move towards. If any of your friend is going to attempt the AWS Cloud Practitioner, I request you to please recommend him or her our video and tell us to subscribe us for upcoming videos also. A multinational company has just moved its infrastructure from its on-premise data center to AWS Cloud as a part of the shared responsibility model. AWS is responsible for which of the following? Physical and environmental control. This is the correct answer for this question. You can go with that. A web application store all of its data on Amazon S3 buckets. A client has mandated that the data be encrypted before sending to its Amazon S3. Which of the following is the right technique for encrypting data as needed by customer? Its correct answer is enable client-side encryption using AWS SDK. Yes, my friend. Its correct answer is use enable client-side encryption using AWS encryption. Question number 23. The DevOps team. It's again a scenario-based question. The DevOps team at an IT company is moving 500 GB of data from an EC2 instance to an S3 bucket in the same region. Which of the following scenario capture the correct charges for this data transfer? So the company will not be charged for this data transfer. Yes, my friend. The answer is the company would not be charged for this data transfer. Again, in scenario, an IT company is planning to migrate from an on-premise environment to AWS cloud. Which of the following expense area would result in the cost saving when the company moves to AWS cloud? The two correct answers are data center physical security expenditure, computing hardware infrastructure expenditure. You can read the scenario, then you can easily identify the answer from yourself also. IT and an e-commerce company has deployed an RDS database in a single ability zone. The engineering team want to ensure that in case of an outage, the database should continue working on the same endpoint without any manual administrative intervention. Which of the following solution can be used this use case? So the correct answer is configure the database in RDS multiple agent deployment with the automatic failover to the standby. A data analytical company is running a proprietary batch analytic application on AWS and want to use a storage service which would be accessed by hundred of EC2 instances simultaneously to append the data to existing file. As a cloud practitioner, which service would you suggest for this use case? EFS. EFS is the correct answer. Which of the following AWS service support reservation of optimized cost? Reservation of optimized cost is supported by DynamoDB, RDS, EC2 instance. A startup want to migrate its data and applications from the on-premise data center to the AWS cloud. Which of the following option can be used by the startup to help this with migration? You have to select two answers as it's mentioned. Leverage AWS professional service to accelerate the infrastructure migration. Utilize AWS partner network to build a customer solution for for this infrastructure migration. Under the AWS shared responsibility model, which of the following is the shared responsibility of both the AWS and the customer? Configuration and management. A startup want to set up its IT infrastructure on AWS cloud. The CTO would like to get an estimate of the monthly AWS bill based on the service that the startup want to use. As a cloud practitioner, which of the following service would you suggest for this use case? The pricing calculator. Yes, my friend, the pricing calculator is the correct answer. Which of the following AWS service can be used to migrate a distributed denial of service DDoS attack? So it's AWS Shield. Yes, my friend, AWS Shield. You can see that whenever a DDoS is coming, AWS Shield with the answer. which AWS Route 53 routing policy would be used to which of the following Route 53 policy would you use to route traffic to multiple resource and also choose how much traffic is routed to each resource? Weighted routing policy. Yes, my friend, the correct answer is weighted routing policy. Which of the following AWS support plan provide access only to 7 core checks from the AWS Trust Advisor best practice check? It's basic and developer. Which of the following AWS support plan provide access to infrastructure event management for an additional fees? Business is the correct answer. Which of the following cloud computing does Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud EC2 represent? Is LAAS, sorry, IaaS, infrastructure as a service. A company use reserved EC2 instance across multiple units, which each unit having its own AWS account. However, some of the units underutilize their reserved instance while other units need more reserved instance. As a cloud practitioner, which of the following would you recommend for the most cost optimization solution? The correct answer is use AWS organization to manage the AWS accounts of all the units and then share the reserved EC2 instance among all units. A startup want to provide an EC2 instance for the lowest possible cost for a long-term duration, but need to make the instance would never be interrupted. As a cloud practitioner, which of the following option would you recommend? Reserved instance. A forensic team has detected the AWS owned IP address are being used to carry out malicious attack, as this constitute prohibited use of AWS service. Which of the following is the correct solution to address this issue? Contact AWS abuse team. Yes, my friend, the correct answer is contact AWS abuse team. Which of the following AWS support plans provide access to guidance, configuration, and troubleshoot of AWS interoperability with third party software? The answer is business and enterprise. Which of the following AWS service support BPC endpoint gateway for a private connection for a BPC? Answer is DynamoDB and S3. Which of the following is the most cost effective option to purchase EC2 reserved instance? Partial upfront payment option with standard 3 years term. Which of the following is an AWS database service? Redshift. Yes, my friend, Redshift is the AWS database service. Which of the following which of the following AWS service can be used to decouple component for a microservice based on the application on AWS cloud? SQS and SNS. Yes, my friend, these are the two options for these questions. Which of the following is the correct regarding removing an AWS account from that AWS organization? The AWS account must be able to operate as a standalone account. Only then it can be removed from the AWS organization. If you read the question na, then I will definitely say you can understand the answer by yourself also. If you go through these questions again and again, then you realize that the concept some there are some concept with behind every answer. Yes, my friend, if you attend the AWS training, then definitely you are going to understand what why these all the answers. But if you are not able to understand, if you and you want explanation of all these questions also, then you can comment us, then we will try to provide you the solution for this answer also. That's why explanation for these correct answers. A Silicon Valley based healthcare startup store anonymized patients' health data on the Amazon S3. The city of Florida want to ensure that the sensitive data on S3 is discovered and identified to prevent any sensitive data leak. As a cloud practitioner, which of the following service would you recommend addressing this use case? Amazon Mica. Yes, my friend, the correct answer is this. Which of the following S3 storage classes take the most time to retrieve data? Also known as the first byte latency. The Glacier Deep Achieve. Yes, my friend, S3 Glacier is achieve is the correct answer. And again, scenario based, a company want to improve the resilience of its flagship application, so it want to move from its traditional database system to the managed AWS database service to support active configuration in both of the East and West US AWS region. The active configuration with the cross region support is the prime criteria of any database solution that the company consider. Which of the database service is the right fit for the requirement? The Amazon DynamoDB and the Global Table are the correct answer for this. Which of the following AWS support plan provide architectural guidance contextual to your specific use case? Business. Business is the correct answer. A medical research startup want to understand the compliance of AWS service considering HIPAA guidelines. Which AWS service can be used to review the HIPAA compliance and governance related document of AWS? The correct answer is AWS Artifact. Question number 50. A company want to move to AWS cloud and release new feature with quick iteration by utilizing relevant AWS service where whenever required. Which of the following characteristic of AWS cloud does it want leverage? Its agility. What are the advantage of the cloud? AWS offer over a traditional on IT premise infrastructure. Thus, to select two correct answer, trade capital expense for variable expense, and second is eliminate guessing on your infrastructure capacity need. Which of the following statement are correct regarding the AWS VPC service? Here we have to select two answer. A net gateway is managed by AWS. A security group can have allow rule only. Compared to on-demand prices, what is the highest possibility discount offered by spot instance? It's 90. It's 90. A multinational corporation want to get expert professional advice on migrating to AWS and managing their application on AWS cloud. Which of the following entity you would recommend to this engagement? AWS consulting partner. Yes, my friend, APN consulting partner. Ignore what I say as an AWS. Okay, that's just focusing on the APN consulting partner. Which of the following are the advantage of AWS cloud computing? Yes, my friend, the answer is trade capital expense for variable expense. Go global in a minute and deploy application in a multiple region around the world with just few click. Benefit of massive economic on scale. If you go to the concepts already now, then you are able to understand the answer why it are the answer, those are the correct answer. If you have any knowledge regarding the cloud, a financial service company want to ensure that its AWS account activity meet the governance, compliance and audit norms. As a cloud practitioner, which AWS service would you recommend for this use case? It's CloudTrail. An intern at an IT company provide provision on Linux-based OS on a demand EC2 instance with per second billing, but terminated with in 30 seconds as he want to provision another instance type. With what is the duration for which of instance would be charged? 60 seconds is the correct answer. AWS Shield Advanced provide expanded dose attack protection from a web application running on the resources. AWS Global Accelerator and Amazon Route F53. A company need to storage solution for a project when wherein the data is accessed less frequently but need rapid access when required, which of which S3 storage class is the most cost effective for this given use case. The correct answer is AW Amazon S3 standard infrequent access. Yes, S3 standard sorry. Which of the following is recommended way to provide the programmatic access to the resource? And it's use access key ID and secret key ID key for to access AWS resource programmatically. Which of the following entity applies patch to the underlay OS and AWS Aura? The AWS product team automatically. Which of the following is the serverless AWS service? It's Lambda. Research group want to use an EC2 instance to run a scientific computation that has a fault tolerance achieved. The application need to high performance hardware disk that provide fast input output performance. As a cloud practitioner, which of the following storage option would you recommend as a most cost effective solution? The answer is instance storage. Yes, my dear friend, you can check all the answer also, but you will get the correct answer here. If we move forward to the next question, but friend, if you are watching this video till now, then I think it's an important video for you, so I request you all please subscribe our channel and press the bell notification and press the like button also. Okay friend, let's continue. Which AWS service will help you receive alert when the reservation utilization fall below to the threshold? AWS budget. And unicorn startup is building an analytic application with the support of a speech-based interface. The application will accept speech-based input from user and they convey result via speech. As a cloud practitioner, which solution would you recommend for the given use case? The correct answer is on your display. You can see. According to the AWS shared responsibility model, which are the following responsibility of AWS? Replacing fault hardware on AWS EC2 instance and maintaining Amazon S3 data in different ability zone to keep it durable. A company want to have control over creating and using its own key for encryption on AWS. Which of the following can be used for this use case? Customer managed CMK. Due to regulation and compliance reason, as an organization is supposed to use a hardware device for and data encryption operation in the cloud, which AWS service can be used to meet this compliance requirement? AWS Cloud HSM. What is the primary benefit of deploying the RDS database in a multiple availability zone? Multiple AZ enhanced database availability. Yes, my friend, the correct answer is this. According to the AWS shared responsibility model, which of the following are responsible for of the customer for Amazon RDS? The correct answer is database encryption. Which of the following AWS service comes under the software as a service cloud computing type? Amazon recognition. Which AWS service you use to send alert when the cost of your AWS exceed your budget amount? AWS budget. Which of the following are the AWS service are always free to use? It's AWS auto scaling and IAM. Yes, my friend, IAM stands for identity and access management. Which of the following AWS service can be used to prevent DDoS attack? Yes, my friend, the CloudFront and the Route 53, AWS Shield and WAF. These are the three answers which are the correct for this question. What are the fundamental driver of the cost with AWS Cloud? Cloud storage and outbound data transfer. Yes, my friend, cloud storage and outbound data transfer. Which AWS service enable user to find by immediately start using software solution in their AWS environment? The answer is the marketplace, AWS marketplace. And gaming company is looking at a technology service that can deliver a consistent low latency gameplay to ensure a great experience for end user in various locations. Which AWS technology service will provide the low latency across the end user? The answer is local zone. Yes, my friend, the Amazon AWS local zone. An e-commerce company want to access an application deploy on EC2 instance. Well, and deviation from AWS best practice, which AWS service can be used to facilitate this. The correct answer is Amazon Inspector. With what are the different gateway types supported by AWS gateway service? It's tab gateway, file gateway, and volume gateway. Yes, my friend, these are the correct answer. Tab gateway, file gateway, and volume gateway. An organization is planning to move its infrastructure from on-premise data center to the AWS cloud as a cloud practitioner. Which option would you recommend so that the organization can identify the right AWS service to build solution on AWS? The correct answer is AWS Service Catalog, AWS Partner Network. Yes, my friend, you can see the answer, and you have to only go through with the training, and then if you come to our video, then definitely you will clear the exam. Before this, friend, we will cover 130 or 135 question on this video, and the remaining 200 and 250 question we will cover in the next video. Only when you will hit the video like and comment on our video that you really need the second part. Okay, friend, let's move to the next question. Which of the following option can be used to access and manage all AWS service? AWS Management Console, AWS CLI, AWS SDK. Which of the following AWS service are global in scope? Amazon CloudFront, Amazon IAM. Yes, my friend, Amazon CloudFront and AWS IAM. An IT company want to run a block backup process at every morning Monday at 2 a.m. The usual runtime of this process is 5 minutes. A cloud practitioner, which of the following you recommend to build serverless solution for this use case? CloudWatch and Lambda. CloudWatch and Lambda. Which services gives a personalized view of the status of the AWS service that are a part of cloud architecture so that you can quickly access the impact on your business when AWS are experience issue. AWS Health, your account health dashboard. Which of the following are the example of horizontal scaling? Akka elasticity, elastic load balancing, read replica in Amazon RDS. Which of the following is the correct statement regarding the AWS storage service? ST is checked based, EBS is block based, and EFS is file based. You can see ST is an object, EBS, B for base, so it's the correct, and F for file. So you can go with this concept also. Which of the following is the correct answer about AWS developer support plan? Allow one contact to open unlimited case. One contact to open unlimited case. Which of the following use case is not supported by Amazon Recognize? Quickly resize photo to create thumbnail. Which of the following solution can be used to connect your on-premise network with the AWS cloud? AWS Direct Connect, AWS VPN. A photo sharing web application want to store thumbnail of user uploading an image, Amazon S3. The thumbnail are very rare used but need to be immediately accessed from the web application. The thumbnail can be regenerated easily if they are lost. Which is the most cost effective way to store these thumbnail? You can see the answer on your screen. Use S3 one zone infrequent access to store the thumbnail. Which policy describe prohibited use of the web service offered by AWS? The correct answer is AWS acceptable use policy. Access key, ID, and secret key are tied to which of the following AWS and access management entities? The correct answer is user IAM. IAM user. The AWS Well Architects framework provide guidance on building cloud-based application using AWS best practice. Which of the following options are the pillar mentioned on the AWS Well Architects framework? Reliability and cost optimization. Which AWS service 53 route policy would you use to improve the performance for your customer by routing the request to the AWS endpoint that provide the fastest experience? Latency routing policy. Question number 95. It's which AWS EC2 pricing model is the most cost effective and flexible with no requirement for a long term resource commitment or upfront payment, but still guaranteed that instance would not be interrupted? On demand instance. Yes, my friend, the correct answer is on demand instance. If we move toward the 96 question number, multiple AZ ability zone deploy is an example which of the following? Highly availability. Highly availability. Which AWS service publish up to the minute information on the general status and availability for all AWS service in all regions of AWS cloud. AWS health service health dashboard. Which of the following statement are true about AWS Lambda? AWS Lambda get you run code without provisioning or managing service. You pay for the compute time you consume. An organization has a complex IT architecture involving a lot of system dependency, and it want to track the history and changes to each resource. Which AWS service will help the organization track the history of configuration changes for all the resource? AWS config. Now it's time for the 100 question. Which of the following statement is incorrect about the AWS scaling? The correct answer is you can automatically deploy AWS Shield when DDoS attack is detected. 101 question. Which of the following AWS service are the part of AWS Foundation Service reliability pillar of the Well Architects framework? So the correct answer is the AWS Trust Advisor. Yes, my friend, the correct answer is AWS Trust Advisor and AWS Service Out Quartos. Which of the following AWS service help with global application availability and the performance using the AWS Global Network? Global Accelerator. 103. An online gaming company want to block user from the certain geographical fees for accessing this content. Which AWS service can be used to accomplish this task? AWS WAF. 104. Which of the following AWS service allow a database to have flexible schema and support document data model? Amazon Dynamo DB. Yes, my friend, Amazon Dynamo DB is the correct answer. Which AWS support plan provide access to the designated technical manager TAM enterprise? A social media company want to protect its web application from common web exploits such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting. Which of the following service can be used to address this use case? AWS Web Application Firewall. A data analytical company has some data stored in Amazon S3 and want to do SQL based analytics on this data with minimum effort. As a cloud practitioner, which of the following AWS service will you suggest for this use case? Amazon Athena. Which of the following AWS service can be used to store, manage, and deploy Docker container image? Amazon Elastic Container Registry. Which of the following statement is correct for a security group and a network accessing control list? Security group as a firewall at an instance level, whereas the NACL network access control list act as a firewall at a subnet level. 110, a retail company has a multiple AWS account for each its department. Which of the following AWS service can be used to set up the consolidated billing at a single payment method? AWS organization. Which of the following statement is correct regarding the AWS bill pricing policy of data transfer charged into or out of your Amazon region? Only outbound data transfer is charged. As per the AWS shared responsibility model, which of the following is responsible for AWS? So the correct answer is edge location management. Edge location management. The engineering team at an IT company want to monitor the CPU utilization for its fleet of EC2 instance and they send an email to the administrator if the utilization exceeds 80%. As a cloud practitioner, which AWS service would you recommend to build this solution? CloudWatch and SNS. A multinational company want to migrate its IT infrastructure to AWS cloud and it's looking for a concierge support team as well as a response time of around an hour in case the system go down. Cloud practitioner with the following support plans would you recommend for the company? Enterprise. Yes, my friend, enterprise is the correct answer. A customer has created a BPC and a subnet with AWS. Which of the following statement is correct? A BPC span of all the ability zone in the region, whereas the subnet spans only one ability zone in the region. A startup is looking for the 24 into 7 phone-based technical support for his account. Which of the following is the most cost-effective AWS support plan for this use case? Business. Which of the following AWS service can be used to provision resource to run big data workload on a Hadoop cluster? EMR. Amazon EMR. AWS compute optimized delivery recommendation of which of the following resource? Amazon EBS volume, AWS Lambda function, Amazon EC2 instance, Amazon EC2 auto scaling. These are the correct answers. Which of the following AWS service is essential for implementing security of resource in cloud? The correct answer is IAM, AWS Identity and Access Management. A company flagship application run on a fleet of Amazon EC2 instance. As per the new policy, the system administrators are looking for the best way to provide cell access to AWS EC2 instance without opening new ports of using a public IP address. Which tool service would you achieve this request? AWS Service Management and Session Manager. Which of the following statement correct about the AWS account root? It is highly recommended to enable MFA, and the second is root user access credential, the email and the password used to create the AWS account. Which of the following AWS compute service is provides the easiest way to access desirable compute capacity in the cloud with support for per second billing and accessing the underlying OS? Amazon EC2. Which AWS technology service help you to scale your resource to match supply with demand while still keeping your cloud solution cost effective? The correct answer is AWS auto scaling. An organization deploy its IT infrastructure in a combination of on-premise data center along with the cloud. How you are categorize the deployment model? It's hybrid deployment model. Yes, my friend, it's hybrid deployment model. Which AWS service should we use when you want to run container application but want to avoid the operational overhead of scaling, patching, securing, and managing service? The correct answer is Amazon Elastic Container Service, Fragate Launch Type. A fleet of an Amazon EC2 instance spread across the different ability zone need to access, edit, and share file-based data storage centrally on a system. As a cloud practitioner, which of the service recommend to use this service. Use case EFS. I already told whenever the share file will come, the answer is EFS. A company is using message broker service on its premise application and want to move its messaging functionality to AWS cloud. Which of the following service is the right choice to move existing functionality easily? The answer is MQ. A company want to fully manage flexible and scalable file storage system with low latency for its window application. Which of the AWS service is the right choice for this company? Amazon FSx for window file server. Which tool will help you review your workload against the current AWS best practices for cost optimizer, security and performance improvement, and then obtain advice to architects? Then better, the AWS trust advisor. Again, I'm requesting you, all my friends, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe our channel, and please share this video with your friend who are going to attempt the AWS cloud practitioner. And if you want more question, there are 400 total question for this practice side, which will definitely sure you that you will clear the exam, and question will come from these terms only. So friend, we will move to next question, and but before that, please subscribe our YouTube channel. Which characteristics of the cloud computing impart the ability to acquire resource as you need to and release when you are no longer with them? Elasticity. As per the AWS responsibility model, which of the following is the responsibility of customer from a security and a compliance point of view? Managing patches of the guest operations and operating system on Amazon EC2. A developer has written a simply web application in PHP and he want to just upload it code to the AWS cloud and have AWS handle to deploy automatically, but still want to access the underlying operating system for further enhancement. As a cloud practitioner, which of the following service would you recommend for this use case? Amazon Elastic Beanstalk. Yes, my friend, this is the answer. And now it's our first set is completed. So I again request you, please subscribe our channel. And if you really want a second set also of this Amazon AWS Cloud Practitioner dumps, then please write in comment, and definitely we will prepare it as soon as possible. And these 400 questions are the main question from which you will get all question in your final exam, and it's an costly exam, so I request you to please go through from these questions very well, and from the concepts also. So friend, we will meet in the next session or in the next video of anything related to education. And if you are new to our channel, please subscribe our channel, and if you are looking for the job opportunity, you can join our Telegram group also, link in the description. Okay friend, we'll meet in next video. Until goodbye and happy day.